The Swedish-born artist, still active in the American pop art, has focused on mass culture and everyday life. In his youth, he consciously collected waste from the streets of big cities and cheap belongings. At the beginning of the 1960s, he created everyday objects, commodities and clothes from muslin strips immersed in plaster and stretched onto wireframes. His work A Lingerie counter was made with the use of these elements as well. Oldenburg painted the rags imitating women's underwear of the age, which had been immersed in glue and plaster, with bright color industrial enamel paint. The artist ironically mimicked a shop's efforts to display its goods in an attractive way. The underwear stiff from glue and blotted with paint, however, rather seems morbid and awkward. Oldenburg makes the ordinary clothes that are erotic in their original state useless. His aim is not to make artworks, but to create tension between the object stored in the museum and its vivid everyday life. According to his creed, I am for an art that does something more than sit on its ass in a museum. K.U. Diaresis.
In reality, all of what you're going to see wouldn't have had other things beneath it, unless I mentioned them, so just kind of ignore that factor. The second thing I need to cover is that all of the garments I'm going to be wearing are examples of the time period. They are not the end-all be-all, there are plenty of different variations and options worn by different people. Most of what I'm going to be focusing on is going to be England-centric, just because that's what I have in my closet and that is what I am the most familiar with. There would be variations throughout the regions and variations throughout the different classes and types of people that you're dealing with as well.
Claes Oldenburg is an American sculptor famous for his public art installations. He makes massive replicas of everyday objects for public spaces. He is responsible for sculptures such as saw, shuttlecock, tools, apple core, bow and arrow, dropped cone, paint torch, free stamp, safety pin, trowel, and cherry on a spoon. His work is considered to relate to the pop art movement because he uses imagery from popular culture, newspapers and advertising. Oldenburg also makes soft sculptures of everyday objects for art galleries. Soft sculptures are sculptures made using soft, supple materials such as cloth, foam and paper.